Come with us where the corn is popped and the throwback Thursdays never stop. It's a magical land not far away. All you have to do is just press play.
So
hop on the couch and close your eyes. Gonna party like it's 99. Join us, watch the movies of our lives with Blockbuster Wives.
Welcome to Blockbuster Wives, where your two favorite 90s babies talk about movies from the era of a certain blue and yellow video rental store. I'm your host with the most late fees, Shea Baby.
And this is Stacy, not always kind, but always rewinds. And you're listening to Blockbuster Wives. We're kicking off with a brand new theme we've never done before.
Never been done before. Super original, super gorgy, super sexy.
It's an alliteration.
Yeah, it's another theme.
Of course, you know how we do.
And if you guys are new here, we do a new theme at the beginning of every month, and we choose, at least, usually, 4 movies that fit into that theme, and we choose a different one every week.
And sometimes it might be a little different, a little unexpected.
Like this month. This month is going to be 1,000% different than any other month that we've done since last June.
Yeah, because I'm a contrarian, and I'm like, everyone's going to be doing Valentine's Day. Not everyone's into that. Not everyone's cares about love. Some people are asexual. Mm-hmm. Some people don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And some people are heartbroken and don't want to think about that.
Yeah.
There's lots of different reasons. Stacey's brilliant enough to be like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do Mind Fuck February.
And really just the theme, the gist is what movies did you watch in the Blockbuster era where you walked away being like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. My mind is blown. I can't stop thinking about it. I have to figure it out. I want to go on online forums. I want to find other people who've seen this movie. That kind of thing.
Absolutely. And as soon as she came up with that, she came up with 2 of the movies. I came up with 2 of the movies. Yeah. I didn't think about it till just now. Mm-hmm. And the 2 movies that she brought up, I've never seen before.
Yeah, and they're real dark, y'all. Sorry about it.
They're real dark. So that's something we warned you guys at the end of last episode. But again, if you're new, you haven't listened to any episodes, that's cool. You guys should totally catch up, though, because all of our episodes are great. However...
Yeah, consider this a catch-up month if you're not into Mindfuck February.
Absolutely, which I know, we release every week. Sometimes you don't have time. Mm-hmm. I get it. But anyway, this month will be a little bit darker, for sure.
Spooky. Little make spookier. You think, bro.
Yeah, we'll make you kind of... It'll be less, silly. Mm-hmm. A little bit more serial. We're gonna have a guest.
But don't worry, we'll still be silly.
Oh, we will be for sure. Oh, you can't.
It's like wacky sax or whatever that song is called.
We will. Oh my god.
What?
Fuck.
What? Oh no.
I obtained a rubber chicken that I was going to bring today.
Oh, no.
And it's in my trunk, but I have period cramps, y'all, and I cannot do that. So I'm so sorry. Next
the curse
episode.
of menstruation.
To lighten things up a little bit, I brought a fucking rubber chicken.
Wow. I have a banana phone.
Oh. Does it make noise?
No. Does the rubber chicken make noise?
Yeah, you squeeze it and it's like...
Is that why they're supposed to be funny?
I think so. And also they just look like flaccid dicks, which is kind of funny in general.
Yeah, I'm just
no offense.
Hit people with them. No offense to our 3 male listeners. We love you.
No offense to our dick holding listeners. But anyway, it's going to be darker themes.
As you can tell.
As you can tell with our chicken mascot. And so, so if that's not your thing, totally use this as a catch-up month. Or whatever, but it like we said, it might be a little bit deeper, a little bit different than what we've normally done. So just keep that in mind. But we're still ourselves, so we're still gonna make light of a lot of shit.
Baby.
It's still you and me, just the 3 of us listening together. You know what I'm saying?
And Rumi,
just the 3 of us, we can make it if we try.
Looking at Shay very lovingly and cute.
I love my little niece Rumi, my little baby. You're a good girl. I think she's really cuddling me because I have cheese and crackers on the side that I'm saving for later.
Yeah.
However, okay, so we're going to kick off this month with the one, the only...
Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko.
Which is such a product of the millennium, such a product of 9/11, which I'll get into.
Totally.
like just such an important cult film. Launched the career of Jake motherfucking Gyllenhaal
And his sister,
and his sister.
Maggie motherfucking Gyllenhaal.
2 superstars. But Jake Gyllenhaal is like really steals the show in this. Like Maggie's in it, but she doesn't have that much to do. It's like all Jake Gyllenhaal bringing it for like 2 hours.
Totally. And it's a huge, and we'll get into this of course, but it is one of the first Flower films, which is Drew Barrymore and Nancy something, their production company, and Drew Barrymore is also in it. So just a really good movie. Oh, also Seth Rogen too.
Yes, a weirdly star-studded cast. Patrick Swayze's in this movie.
Oh yeah, Patrick Swayze.
And all of that is really thanks to Drew Barrymore. Like,
absolutely.
She believed in the script. She funded it. She got it a theatrical release. And at this point, she was like 24 years old, everybody. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Bad fucking bitch.
The director was 25.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, his first feature film. And he got to direct it, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jeez.
He was like out of film school, and this was his first movie.
God.
And a lot of people consider it like a quintessential adolescent coming to age film. And I think part of that is everyone is like really young in it. Mm-hmm. It's written by a young person, acted with young people, like very, very like fresh perspective.
Absolutely. So if you guys want to get into it, we're going to hop into
corporate bullshit. Play that theme.
Play it right now, Johnny.
Corporate bullshit. Some bullshit.
We've just been air drumming this whole time while you heard that theme.
That'd be funny. Brent doesn't enter it right here. He like waits.
It's just awkward breathing.
You just hear it's like a... Anyway, okay. So let me get into corporate bullshit. I took that over today. So let me grab that. Boom. Where are we? Where are you? And I'm so sorry. Okay. Oh, sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight. All right. So, Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko. Was released January 19th of 2001 in Sundance. Okay, the film festival Sundance. However, the actual theatrical release was October 26th, 2001, barely a month outside of 9/11.
If you haven't seen this movie, a plane crash is a big part of it. So
giant part of it. Very fucked. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they had no idea.
Yeah, clearly they didn't know.
They filmed it I'm guessing in 2000.
Yeah.
So a full year and something before. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And all of their trailers were cut with plane crash scenes. And then 9/11 happened, and they're like, well, we can't show that anymore.
Yes. And it showed in the numbers. It's 113 minutes, really close to our perfect time. Mm-hmm. Again, if you're new here, our perfect timing for Stacy and I is 90 minutes. So anything like 10, 20 minutes above or below is cool with us.
Mm-hmm. Like Master of Disguise last episode, which was 80 minutes.
80 minutes.
Generous.
Thank God. And like we said, it was produced by the company Flower Films. The director, like Stacy said, was named Richard Kelly.
Mm-hmm. But he was a youngin'.
Yep. As she said, right out of film school. So wild. The budget was $4.5 million, and the box office was $7.5 million. So,
and that's like over a period of time. Like opening weekend, it only made $1 million, and everyone's like, uh-oh. But honestly, the director was surprised it got a theatrical release at all, because again, until Drew Barrymore came in, it was like dead in the water. I think she also helped get like Patrick Swayze involved and like some of the more established actors,
which is nutso. I mean, like, she was super young, but she also had been, I think, already actually. I'm trying to think of what she was in right before this. I guess she was in...
Scream would have been close, right? 97?
Yeah, it was...
Yeah. Oh, Charlie's Angels, because she read the script when she was filming for Charlie's Angels.
And
she was like, I love it.
Okay.
Which, fun fact, Mara Wilson from Matilda read the script to play the sister, and she was terrified by it and was like, I don't want to do this.
She could have been really good at it too.
But it's just funny to see the different reactions. Like Drew Barrymore be like, yeah, and Mara Wilson be like, no.
And you know what? I get it, because it is very dark. Like, we know everyone knows it's very dark. It's literally called Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko.
Let's be fucking real.
Darko is in the name.
So yeah, it makes complete sense. Also, I do need to mention that, beside, the quote-unquote attacks, had happened the month fucking before. But even beyond that fact, it received such positive reviews. It's been listed number 2 in Empire's 50 greatest independent films of all time.
Wow.
And it's also number 53 in Empire's 500 greatest movies of all time. So has like crazy high reviews, and of course it's like every film bro's favorite fucking movie.
Oh yeah, how could you not like it? What's the Rotten Tomatoes?
So Rotten Tomatoes is 4.5 stars.
Wait, don't they do percentages?
87%.
Okay, I was like, wait.
It showed stars and then it shows percentages.
Interesting.
Yeah, so 87%.
What's the audience? I'm guessing that's critic. I always like comparing the two.
Actually, I'm seeing 100% underneath that.
Holy.
So I'm kind of confused by that, actually.
Wait, let me see.
Right here, it says 100%.
Oh, what happens if you just click on it?
Oh, hold on. Let me go.
Oh, is that a screenshot?
Yeah, it was a screenshot.
Oh.
Let me see here. Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes. Audience score is 80.
Oh, okay. And then critic score is?
And then critic score is 87.
Interesting. Okay, I wonder where they got the 100 from.
Roger
Very
Ebert
high-rated.
scored this 2.5 stars.
Okay, so not his favorite.
He
Not
didn't
his
love
least
it.
Favorite.
He was saying that it was like, he loved like the concept of it, but he didn't like the fact that we had to figure it out, which I understand, because it doesn't really lay it out completely, like,
not very
which
well
we'll
at
get
all.
into. But
Yeah, Seth Rogen and Jake Gyllenhaal famously had a conversation at the launch party where they both were like, "I don't get it, man."
really,
Yeah, they were like, "We don't get it."
Donnie
but
Darko
they both
didn't
loved
get
it.
That's
They're
crazy.
like, "We love this movie. We loved being in it, but I don't know what it means."
He's like, it doesn't really make sense, but I like it. Seth Rogen also plays a huge fucking dick in the movie.
And it was his first feature film debut.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was literally Freaks and Geeks, and then it must have been just Donnie Darko.
Yeah. And you know who the other bully is?
Who?
He is the singer of Phantom Planet who sings California. California. Here we go.
He's hot too.
Yeah, so he was an actor / singer. Yeah.
Phantom Planet.
Interesting.
Sheesh. That is wild.
We would try to give you a short synopsis of this movie, but it kind of defies that. If I were to try,
Yeah.
I would just say you follow a troubled young boy who seems to be having schizophrenic visions, wherein he befriends a terrifying man in a bunny costume. It's not even posited that this is a bunny. It's like clear that this is a person in a weird ass bunny costume. So you start seeing him everywhere, and the bunny tells him that the world is going to end in 28 days. And that's kind of like the central engine is like, when are these 28 days going to end? And you keep getting these flashes throughout the movie of like 10 days left, 5 days left, 1 day left, 8 hours left, and you're just like, ooh. And the font is really cool and like kind of Arabic looking.
Yeah.
And because of the 9/11 attacks,
No.
they took all the Arabic out of the trailers and previews that was in there, like Arabic looking font, because they didn't want to like alienate people.
What the fuck?
But they
dude?
did keep it in the movie, which I respect, but it's just wild, like how scared people were at that time. Like they stopped playing any like plane related music on the radio. Like it was a weird time.
Which is like, I don't know. I mean, we both have our feelings about this.
It's just crazy.
It's just dumb. Let's just not mince our words. It's fucking stupid.
It is dumb.
The I get being sensitive, but like literally bleeping out the word like plane and fly. So stupid. I'm sure the song Crash by fucking Dave Matthews Band was like a giant fucking no-no.
They're like, can't do that.
Antichrist theme. But I mean, the fact that it came out at that time, and like we said, a huge part, especially of the beginning of the movie, there is a plane crash or like, something falling off the plane, blah, blah, blah. Wild. Like,
yeah, I think at the time everyone's like, we don't want to see that.
Yeah, which I get.
And they probably thought it was like, is this political? And it's like, no, not in that way. It is political in other ways.
It is,
which
for
we'll
sure.
talk about.
For sure. Okay, let me get to my notes.
Well, here. I just want to know like your relationship with this movie. So you had never seen this movie.
Yeah, I had never watched it. and I knew nothing.
Really?
I knew nothing. The only
Had you
thing
heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'd heard of it. It's a lot of my friend, like, you know, Stacy and I know a lot of people who like went to film school or like talk about films a lot, and I had most of these people I knew were like, dude, Donnie Darko, bro, is just like, it's mind-blowing, dog. And I'm just like,
I like how you sounded like Amanda Bynes and She's the Man.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what I was just
Mind-blowing
trying to
dog.
be. That's me doing a dude impression. But all I knew was actually the imagery of the bunny. Like, I didn't know what relationship that bunny had to him or anything. I just knew it was a super dark movie and the bunny costume, and that's it. Like, I didn't know fucking anything else.
Yeah, I was trying to remember when I first saw this movie. I think it would have been early high school, like early internet. And I think part of my reason for watching it is this movie got like a lot of play on like Tumblr and MySpace.
Yeah.
Like, it was such a cult movie, and like people would post the bunny rabbit and like quotes from the movie, and like it was like a very like deep internet cut movie that lonely kids on the web love to talk about and share and be like, it's my favorite, I watch it every day.
Yeah, like, it's a lot of people's favorite like comfort movie, which I do not
I know,
get.
that's what I was thinking. Like, people watch this like every day. I'm like, how?
Like,
It's
yikes.
so dark.
Like, yeah, like, even if you guys have watched it, you know Frank's fucking voice is scary
It
as
is so
fuck.
scary. It's like bassy and like layered and like surround sound, and it's like louder than a lot of other things in the movie, so you're like, oh.
Yeah, it's like layers of like, it's multiple voices in one, which is scary,
Like, demonic.
triggering. And yeah, I'm just like,
and also, like, I rewatching it again, I was struck, like, it is scarier than I remember, more disturbing than I remember, and also, like, Jake Gyllenhaal, like, he's unsettling, but like in a good way. Like, he's captivating, but he's also like so creepy, and he does such a good job of like looking unwell.
yes,
Like, just like something's up, and he does the famous Kubrick stare so well.
I was
which
thinking
is like
that
where
too.
you like tip your head down and like look under your eyes, and you look a little menacing.
Yeah, you look
Not
like
a lot of blinking.
very manic and very like almost like, we keep using this word, I feel, but unhinged, like,
Yes.
totally.
Like catatonic almost,
Yeah.
like not fully present, like
Yeah.
very scary.
Yeah, and I feel like that only pops up when he's in his like dreamlike state for the most part, when he's talking to Frank. But yeah, okay. Let's pop into our notes.
Yeah.
Shall we?
First thing I wrote is, this our first R-rated movie?
Is that a question?
I think it is.
I believe it is.
Wow.
Wait,
We're
wait.
growing up.
Wait, Titanic? What was that?
Oh, I don't
PG-13?
know what Titanic's rated.
Let me look that up really quick. I'm pretty sure.
Good thing. Yeah, it probably is just PG-13. I don't know. Maybe the boobs pushed it over.
PG-13 for
Okay.
sure.
I think it's our first R-rated movie.
It is our first R-rated.
Wow.
Makes sense for mindfuck.
Under 17-year-olds.
Wow. I don't think any young people listen to, like, super young people listen to our
if
podcast.
you do, you're super cool.
Yeah, honestly, ahead of your time. Like, we're gonna be your favorite
Visionary.
cult, podcast that are, people are gonna be talking about this 30 years from now. You'll be the first to, I don't know. You're like the hipster. You're the
Yeah.
OG. You get it. Anyways, I wrote, woke up in the road to a gorgeous fucking view.
Isn't that such a gorgeous scene in general? Like the winding roads and the fucking hills are like,
I
oh.
was like, this is fucking beautiful. Love it.
And it's supposed to be set in Virginia, but
Really?
it's filmed in LA.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see. It looks like LA, just like
Yeah.
that. Those hills.
Because the
Very
director is from Virginia, so write what you know.
For sure. I would love to make a movie about Nova Scotia.
Oh, that'd be
Oof,
so good.
That'd be so pretty.
27 could be set in Nova Scotia.
It could be. Yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea. You're so
Mhm.
smart. I don't think we've talked about 27. Maybe we have, but that's another film idea I have. We don't have to talk about it this time, but really great.
Just know it's cool.
Just know it's very fucking cool, if I do say so myself. I wrote that calling his mom a bitch is so funny.
Yeah, their whole fight is like, oh my god.
And his parents are so cool.
The mom, I love the mom.
I do too.
She's like she's like so smart, and she like gets it, and she's not about all this other bullshit that the other suburban moms are about. She
Mhm.
loves her son so much. She's so good at like
Yeah.
she's worried about him, she's scared for him, but you could also just like feel the love.
And she's really like, she's not like, in a lot of these types of movies where the child in question is like, you know, troubled in whatever capacity that is, I feel like a lot of the time the parent is either just like non-present at all, or they're like fucking helicopter ass bitch. And I think she does a really good job of being like, I'm worried, I'm concerned, but like, we're putting you through therapy and I'm down to like put you on more medication if that's what you need, but also here's freedom, which you deserve.
Yeah, and like a really early portrayal of therapy, which is like not, I feel like not really done then, and like very taboo at the time for sure.
Especially for kids. Yeah.
And to like show the actual therapy and like be in the room and like, it's just the lady asking questions like.
Yeah. I would say maybe Sopranos also kind of.
Oh, yeah, another therapy.
They were a really early.
Show.
Yeah, that's like a really, really early viewing of therapy in a really positive way, I would say.
But there's this one like beautiful scene, it made me want to cry, where Donnie's like, oh, how does it feel to have like a fucking weirdo for a son or something? And she just goes, wonderful.
I wrote that
like,
down.
She's the best. I love her.
I
the
know.
mom is
I wrote.
amazing. The dad's really funny too, but the mom shines.
And there's a deleted scene actually of the dad and Jake kind of having a similar moment, or Donnie, I should say. Donnie and his dad, they're having a similar moment to the moment that he had with his mom, which is like, how do you feel about having a blah 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 son? Anyway, wonderful, so sweet,
cute.
Anyway, the dad in the scene, they're like outside and they're sitting, and then his dad is basically like, you know what? I know all these people have like this and this and this to say about you. Fuck them. Literally fuck them. They are living miserable fucking lives. Like, you do whatever the fuck you want. Like, going the fuck off. And I love that it's like, he has this moment with both of his, even though this is a deleted scene, it's still part of his character. So I'm still going to talk about it. But like, his parents are both very similar in the sense that they're just like, I support you. Fuck these people. You're wonderful. Like, I don't give a fuck, which is awesome.
Yeah, and willing to support a kid, not just like massively conforming. And it's like, there's this one great scene where he tells this really creepy like TV motivational person that he thinks he's the Antichrist.
Yeah.
And it's just like, everyone's like, oh my God. But it's like wild that we don't want kids to have opinions, and like they're just always supposed to be like, yes, authority, yes, mainstream, whatever society says, that's what I guess. And it's like any opinions to the contrary are like crushed.
Totally.
And he doesn't do that, and his parents like don't care. There's another great scene where he tells like the PTA freak religious bitch,
I hate her,
to like shove a book up her ass, and like that comes up later, and the dad's like, well, he did have a point.
Yeah, he's like cracking up.
yeah,
Like,
and he's like,
this is what he said.
yeah, and just like, well, he had a point.
She can go fuck herself. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I love how you can really feel how supportive they are. They're not at the point of like, I don't give a fuck about her. It's not like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of portrayals of people with mental health issues, a lot of the time, it's like the parents are just like, fuck you. Like, they like blame.
Yeah, why can't you be normal?
Yeah,
like that one scene.
Exactly. Like, what's that movie, Babadook?
Yes.
Exactly. And it's like, I just love that the parents they just seem really smart.
Yes.
And very like, they get it, you know? They just like love their fucking kid. And, well, kids. They love their kids, and they're just very supportive, which is so sweet.
Yeah, they're actually a little less supportive of Maggie Gyllenhaal because she's like a young budding feminist, and like she wants to go to college, and she's gonna vote for Dukakis, who is the Democrat. And her dad's just comment about like, when your husband's paycheck goes to taxes, and she's like, my husband's paycheck, bitch.
Yeah, it's badass.
Like, sorry.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then she fucking gets into Harvard. Bad bitch. They never say shit about it.
No. Well, it's because
like,
other things happen. But
get it. But, you know, anyway.
Yeah, and I also like the whole Dukakis plotline, because the thing that I associate with Dukakis is that George Bush ran this insanely racist ad against him that they think like really helped him win. Do you know about this?
No, I don't.
It's the Willie Horton ad, and Dukakis was like against the death penalty. He like didn't want life sentences and all that, and when he was governor of Massachusetts, I think it was really common for prisoners to get weekend passes. I don't think people realize like America used to be like way more progressive than it is now. I think people think that we get more progressive with time. Not in the field of crime. It's gotten 1,000 times worse. Yeah. But anyways, back in the 70s or whatever, like low level prisoners would get weekend passes to like go home.
Oh, nice.
And then they would come back to prison on Monday.
Yeah.
And like some countries still do this. But one prisoner one weekend like did do a horrible crime when he was out, and he was a black man, and George Bush just like put this black man's mugshot wall to wall commercials. It was like, Dukakis let this man out, and he murdered a white woman.
Are
and
you
like fuck him, and like if you elect him, this is gonna happen to your loved ones. It was like really shitty ad, and it's like commonly held up as like an example of dog whistle stereotyping, racist ass shit. So I like that the movie starts with being like this Dukakis George Bush culture war, and how the suburban parents are like, George Bush, he's the best.
Yeah, and she's just like, no, fuck you, I'm voting for Dukakis, bitch.
Mm-hmm. It's also wild that this was filmed before they probably knew that George Bush Jr. won.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh my god.
So wild. And also, kind of related, it's interesting because I've seen a lot of pictures of Drew Barrymore wearing basically like anti-Bush like t-shirts and stuff back then. So it kind of makes sense that she like produced this because she's like, haha,
yeah,
like,
she's
fuck
like,
Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Because like she wore this t-shirt that I'm thinking about now, and it said something like, it said, I'll never vote for a son of a Bush.
Oh.
I'll never vote for a son of a Bush. And I'm like, ha ha.
Damn, she's about it.
Yeah, she like like on
She's
red
so
carpets
cool.
wearing this shit. Dang. Like fucking badass bitch. Love her.
She's so cool.
She's so fucking cool.
She's a hero.
Anyway,
the music in this movie, not to just randomly change topics, but
great.
so good.
Mad World.
Yeah.
Such a good cover.
Even before that,
yeah.
You know the scene where he's like walking into the high school and it's like a really loud 80s music and there's like all these scenes of like high schooler kids doing stuff. I guess that took like 2 days to film and the producers were pissed about it because they're like, the scene doesn't do anything. It's taking too long. Like, we can't cut. It's impossible. But then when they saw it, they're like, you're right.
So
this
good.
scene rocks.
I think that was too, something happens and I'm
yes.
Mm-hmm. Tears for Fears. Okay.
Tears for Fears.
I
Couple
listened
songs.
to a full Tears for Fears album yesterday as I was making these like really yummy ginger shots. It's so unrelated, but anyway. And I was like, okay, I know everyone like generally loves like a couple Tears for Fears songs. Dude, their whole discography is so fucking good.
You feel that way about Depeche Mode, Tears for Fears,
Oh yeah, Depeche Mode.
and The Cure. I'm like,
The
it's
Cure,
just
I love
all
The
so
Cure.
good.
80s music, man. Some of my fucking favorite, especially that super like synthy, like
dark
harmony, dark. Yeah, like, it's like dark wave shit. So fucking good. Dark wave is actually making a huge comeback.
I love it.
Huge comeback, and I love it.
I love it. Want more.
I know. But anyway, back to it. Yeah, the soundtrack, so fucking good.
So amazing.
I wrote, let's see. Let's go in order here. Oh yeah, speaking of the dad, when Donnie calls his mom a bitch, she's like, your son just called me a bitch. And the dad is like,
Oh, yes.
you're bitching, but you're not a bitch.
And I'm like, that is like how people talk.
It's
like,
such a
it's
dad.
so cute. Yeah.
You're bitching, but you're not a bitch. I'm like, Dad.
It's also like such an adolescent thing to be like, you're a bitch. When it's like your loving mother is trying to help you.
I know, fucking chill,
but
dude.
you're so hormonal that you're like, fuck you.
So then, like we talked about, the plane crashes and then one of the jet engines falls into Donnie's room
while he was out doing God knows what, being a juvenile delinquent, possibly
Totally.
having a schizophrenic episode. It's not really clear.
No, it's not at all. And then I wrote Holiday Inn in giant letters because that's where they stay once their house is completely fucked because of this plane. And I was laughing because that day I was just like blasting Holiday Inn by Chingy like over and over again on the way to the DMV.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, my world is so connected. Anyway, I just thought that was funny.
And yeah, he goes to school and all of a sudden like he's the man. Like everyone's like, oh my God, you cheated death.
Yeah.
It's also where you meet the sweet Asian character who the bullies are so fucking mean
I
to.
literally wrote, what? Fucking racist cigarette smoking mashed potato brain cunts.
I know. Oh, it's so
Hate them.
sad.
And she's so cute.
She really is. Like her dance number later on.
I know. There's something, I think that she represents something in the movie. Other, like, I don't even know. It's like she's like, I don't know, because she's there in a lot of moments where Donnie Darko is feeling like really kind of like, I don't want to say he's feeling alone, but there's moments where he's like kind of alone, and he like looks over, and then the camera pans over, and she's like standing right there.
And you later find out that she like likes him.
Yeah.
So I think it is like even when you think you're alone, like people are into you.
Yeah, people are watching and are looking out for you
and want to be your friend.
Yeah.
Even if you can't see it.
Yeah, maybe that is a point of it. It's just really sweet and very, very cute. She's so cute.
I do love how Donnie really sticks up for like everybody.
Yes.
Like you get the sense that like girls think he's cute. Like he's like not a total loser at school.
No.
But he's still like, if people are being bullied, he's like, shut up. Like, don't do that. He sticks up for them. He asks people what's wrong. Like, he's very caring.
Yeah. It's almost like he's like a vessel for the universe.
Well, he is big time, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me just say, I'm like very confused by this movie, okay? I've been thinking about it for days since I've watched it, and I'm just like, I think this, but I don't really know. And if you've seen it, you understand. But also, I've only gotten to watch it the one time.
Yeah.
So
they don't explain anything.
Right. So I really haven't read anything on it. So, and I wanted it to be like that because I don't want to make it seem like I'm a fucking like film bro. Like I really don't get it, but I like it. Mm-hmm. But it was confusing. I will not lie.
I'll share with you what the internet and Tumblr and all the cult people think it's about.
Okay.
The idea is that somewhere in the beginning of the timeline,
yes,
an alternative universe is created. They call it the tangent universe. And tangent universes are very unstable. We learned this from Grandma Death's science fiction book.
Right.
So this tangent universe is created. And if that collapses or whatever, everyone in that universe, and I think also the regular universe, will die. So it is like the world will end, possibly, if this tangent universe isn't resolved.
Okay.
And so the theory is that most of the events in the movie take place in the tangent universe.
God. Okay. Until the end.
Yes. And the plane engine, you know how it goes to that weird tunnel?
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem is that engine was not supposed to be in the tangent universe. So he is somehow able to like see all this stuff, go back to the original timeline, and so when the engine does crash into him, that's where it was supposed to crash into. So that like resolves the tangent universe so that everybody doesn't die.
Got it. So because he stepped out of his room to have, you know, the sleepwalking whatever, and the jet engine fell in his fucking room when he wasn't there, it went against like fate.
Yes, basically.
Okay.
And that's why there's like a lot of fate motifs and like a lot of like when you see the tubes like going in front of people and they like have to follow it, it's like predestination and shit.
I do like a lot of the movie that like, I feel like a lot of parts of the movie, and if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about, where like he sees or hears a word that that like sticks in his mind, and then like an hour later or like a couple hours later or the next day, there's another related thing to that word, and he's just like, oh my god,
a lot of deja vu stuff.
Yeah, like I was just talking about with fucking Holiday Inn. So stupid, but it's like that, and I feel like that shit happens to me like every fucking day. Yeah,
or we just realized that the bunny rabbit says that the world's going to end in 28 days, and we're recording this on the 28th of January.
Exactly.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah,
there's always a lot of synchronicities in the world if you're paying attention.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to bring up, is like, I am one of those people that is always fucking paying attention. That's why I always see angel numbers, if you guys believe in that. Like, I'm constantly seeing angel numbers. Don't know if I believe in like all of the individual meanings of like each angel number. However, I do think there's something about the fact that like sometimes I see like 12 angel numbers and no one else notices, but I do. And that, I just think if you're paying attention, you start seeing all these like connections that we have with other people, and just like it makes you feel like I'm not going to speak for you. It makes me feel like, dude, I'm in the right place at the right time right now, that I saw this or I experienced this or I noticed this. So anyway.
Mine aren't numbers based so much as like thoughts based. Like I will be thinking about something random, and then later in that day, like something else will be like, and I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah. And I love those moments because it really is like, we're so
I was just like, do a little smile. I'm like, that's cool.
It is very cool. And it really does make you feel like, yeah, like I said, like, I'm meant to be in this moment right now, right here, which is crazy.
Or just that we're all connected.
Yeah. Which we are.
Yeah, so I think that's the basic gist, and that's why, like, I'm a sucker for a sacrifice plot or narrative.
Yeah.
So the fact that, like, you know, Donnie Darko has this realization, like, I was supposed to die, or I need to go back and die in that timeline so that my girlfriend can live, my entire family can live, the universe can live.
Yeah.
And there's, like, kind of a funny moment foreshadowing that when he first meets his love interest, and she's like, Donnie Darko, that sounds like a superhero name. And he's like, how do you know I'm not a superhero?
I love that.
And it's like, and he is in the end.
He is.
Saves everybody.
I didn't think about that, but I did write that line down as I was watching. I was like, ooh, that's badass. How do you know I'm not one?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, fuck yeah, exactly. How do you fucking know that people aren't superheroes?
And it's like kind of cute because he's like laughing on his way to his inevitable death, and I'm just like, oh my god. But I also like that he did get to do like cool stuff in the alternate timeline. Like he lost his virginity, he fell in love, he like did all these exciting things.
Yeah,
he exposed a pedophile.
I was gonna say he exposed a fucking pedophile. He like literally called him the Antichrist.
Yes.
He fucking told this dumbass cunt teacher sandwich to shove whatever up her ass. Like he vandalized lots of property. But it was all for really good reason. Like as soon as I found out that fucking, you know, whatever's motivational speaker bullshit holiday hoobie wuddy guy,
which is like
was a
clearly
pedophile,
rip
I was
off of Tony Robbins, and I'm like,
yeah,
I
I'm like,
wonder how he felt about this.
Which is also a callback to our first podcast called Banana Hands.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, it was just really good. It was really good. Confusing, but really good. I like it.
But there was so much I forgot. Like when Drew Barrymore came on screen, I was like, oh my fucking god, I forgot she was in this, because I don't think she made it into a lot of the memes.
No, I mean, not a lot of her like lines are, I'm not gonna say they're not iconic because she's just iconic, but like, you know, she just is kind of like a normal character. I do like though how messy she is in class.
Oh my god, I
girl
wrote she's a
walking.
messy bitch who lives for the drama.
I was like, that would be me as a fucking teacher. I'm like, sit next to the boy you think is the cutest.
And
like,
then she just totally reads her eyes and she's like, you leave.
Get
And I was
up.
like, Jesus.
like move. I'm like, yes, so fucking rad.
And did you know that so the love interest, I forget her name in the movie, but her real name is Jenna Malone. I'm just gonna call her Jenna Malone.
Yeah,
she's the star of Saved, another movie I fucking love.
You do love that movie. I've never seen it.
That she doesn't really have that many like huge roles.
I feel like I've seen her in a lot of like little roles.
Yeah, she's like an indie queen.
Yeah, definitely indie sleaze.
But
sure.
I didn't know this. I learned this today, that she's from Sparks, Nevada.
What?
Which is like southeast of Reno. It's like basically a part of Reno. It's like Henderson is to Vegas, Sparks is to Reno. But I was just like, oh, that's interesting. A little Nevada hometown hero.
That is random as hell.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I wonder what else she's in. I know I've seen her in like a lot of other shit that I've seen, but like little roles, you know? Like not
I think she
giant
also
blockbusters.
might have played like Joan of Arc or some shit. I don't know. But
we'll look at it.
She's great in the movie. Comes from a tragic background.
Yeah, it's
her
very sad.
stepdad like almost killed her mom, and they're like kind of on the run a little bit. So she's troubled.
Yeah, she had to change her name. Her name starts with like a G or something.
Gretchen. That's I think what it is. Or Gina.
I'm looking it up because I just need to know.
Like Gina Gershon. That's not it.
Let me see here.
I think it's Gretchen.
Gretchen.
Okay.
Gretchen Ross. Yep. But yeah, so yeah, when she comes in, it's like immediately known, like, okay, he falls in love with this girl, and they become, or they're going together.
They're going together.
Which is very, like, it's a very old school way of putting it. That's very, like, 50s and
like,
60s
would you go
slang.
with me?
You want to go with me? Yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah, so pretty soon after that, you see this old lady checking the mailbox. She just walks in a circle around trying to check this mailbox, and you're like, what is she doing? And it's so sad.
I call her Grandma Death.
Grandma Death,
which is like a good name, but ouch.
It's a nickname that like Stacy would jokingly make, and then the grandma would be right there,
like
by accident. We've had lots of moments like that. It's unfortunate. And this is where I first saw Seth Rogen for the first time, and I was like, wait, what?
You're like, wait, I know. I leaned in. I was like, no way.
And I remembered that I watched this interview with him where he was like talking about his, I don't know. I actually don't know. He was talking about his like filmography, and someone was like, "Oh, is this your first film?" And he's like, "I had a really small role in this movie called Donnie Darko," and it's like everyone knows what Donnie Darko is.
Yeah.
But it just like fell off the back of my fucking nog because I was like, I had never seen it, so it didn't really matter. But then when I saw him, I was like, oh yeah, he did say that.
Not like the worst bully. He's definitely like the bully sidekick. The worst bully is the Phantom Planet guy.
Definitely.
He's into knives too much. He tries to like stab everybody for no reason.
He's a little fucking bitch. Hate him. And then basically just like kind of goes in and out of like dream sequences, it seems like, but really it's him in real life, like sleepwalking, doing like devious acts here and there, whilst also like the next day like going to therapy, and he's getting hypnotized by his therapist. Like he's doing hypnotherapy, is that what you call it?
Yeah, but it's not like she's like making him do stuff. It's just like he's basically like in a trance on the couch and she asks him questions and he's like answering from his subconscious. Right.
Which is interesting because I've heard of people doing that.
Yeah, it's actually like some people find it very effective.
That's wild. That would be really cool to try.
Yeah, I'm like, does it really work?
I know.
People swear it does.
I would love to see that. I would love for someone to try to hypnotize my ass.
I think they also got the care of the therapist across too. Like she really does seem like she like wants to help him, and she's like trying her best, but she also doesn't want to like she tells the parents what's going on, but she doesn't like spill everything,
which is good.
Yes. Yeah,
that's exactly what she should be doing. But there are moments where like he gets really upset while he's like hypnotizing. He like hugs her and he's crying, and she like has to like snap him out of it before things like go anywhere. And oh my god,
when he sees really the bunny in the office, it's like almost like a jump scare. He's like, he's right there, and I was like, ah.
Yeah, and like she obviously can't see it, you know, but he like, and that's what's so scary is like no one would understand where you're at. And that must be so fucking heartbreaking for people, especially who are like unmedicated or not taking the proper meds or whatever. Like that must be so hard.
Yeah, and in my line of work, I deal with a lot of people who have schizophrenia, and it's really interesting because some people are very judgy about it, and they'll be like, "Oh, that person is in denial about their schizophrenia, or they refuse to get medicated." Right. And it's like put on the person. But I don't think a lot of people understand that a symptom of schizophrenia is, they call it what is the word? I wrote it down. It's like a long scientific sounding word. Oh, anosognosia. And that means that you lack awareness of your condition. Right. And like that is part of it. It's not that they're in denial. It's not that they're bad people. It's not that they think they know better. It's like part of their mental illness is that they don't think they're sick.
Right. They're like, no, this is actual reality. And people have to be like, well, I don't see that person, or I didn't hear that voice, so it's not in reality. But to them, that is their fucking reality.
Right. And it's like, yeah, like imagine if you went home today to your loved one and they looked you in the eye and they're like, I don't know you. You don't live here. You've never lived here. You would be like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Like, you're gaslighting me. Like, totally. you would know in your heart that's not true. And it's like, that's how people truly feel.
Absolutely.
And so, and in this movie, it's like a little different because as the movie goes on, you're like, oh, maybe it's not schizophrenia. Maybe he is like, there's some like barriers of the universe. Like maybe this is a ghost breaking through. Like maybe it's not a schizophrenic vision. But I think it was like a good metaphor for how hard it is to deal with these things.
Right. And I think like the movie gives insight. I think it gives a little bit of a window into what that might be like if someone was experiencing schizophrenia or like symptoms of schizophrenia, and how scary that is, and like
lonely,
so
how
fucking
incredibly lonely when no one else can share your reality.
Yeah, no one gets you. And I think that just plays a really big, like, I feel like we should all just be more educated and aware of, you know, some experiences that other people have that we do not fucking have in that regard, especially with mental health, because like, hello, like, I don't know. I just feel like it affects so many people, like depression, anxiety, like all these things that we should just be educated about because so many people experience them. And it's like, if we all understood symptoms better, if we all understood where like people's mindsets more, I think we'd be in a way better place in society.
Yeah, there's actually like a new form of treatment kind of being piloted for people with schizophrenia where you're in like a community setting with other people experiencing that, and the goal is not to medicate you. But the goal is for you to have a healthy relationship with whatever voices you might be hearing, with whatever things you might be seeing, and not about like silencing them, but like acknowledging that they're there and trying to like live in harmony with
That's
them.
interesting.
Yeah, and some people are like really liking it, and they're like, the medicine makes me feel terrible. I feel like a zombie. Like I can't function on it. So this is like the best way for me to live my life. Like is just kind of coming to terms with these things and not fighting every second of the day with these voices, and just being like, I hear ya. Like that's that voice. Like,
Right.
He always says that, you know,
Yeah,
like stuff like
this
that.
guy.
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful. And I do think, like, for some people, medication would fucking work. And for some people, maybe it won't. And it makes their life way worse. And it makes them not be able to function. And we should all have the option of what we want to fucking do with our own bodies. Body autonomy.
Yeah, and that's, like, really new. Because before it was just like, no, you forcibly medicate that person. Like, you confine them. Like, that's the way it's done. And it's just now starting to be like, well, what if, like, we didn't treat this as, like, something to be stopped or a problem to be solved, and just treated this as like a different experience this person's having that is not good and like might lead to bad things.
Totally. Might.
So we're not like ignoring it, but we're also not just like trying to stop
Slap
it.
a Band-Aid on it.
Exactly.
Which might work for some people. But I think that's the thing is like.
It's a big world.
Exactly. It's a big, mad world. But it is. And it's like, there isn't one solution for every human being.
Ever.
Like,
period.
There should be so many options for all of us for whatever we're going through, and we should be able to choose whichever one suits us, our souls, our bodies, and our lives best.
Amen.
Amen up in here, baby.
I could listen to that song on repeat.
Me
for
too.
Days.
It's such a good
beautiful.
cover. I think it is a Tears for Fears song, but
It is.
boom.
A different cover, yeah. Gary Jules.
So good.
Yeah, and the original's like, it's kind of like peppy. Like it's a very different cover, but it works so good.
I think it's even better than the OG, in my personal opinion.
Oh, one synchronicity that I noted. Everyone's been talking about how we're entering the year of the rabbit.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So this is a good time to be watching it.
That's true. If you're a rabbit baby, shouts out to you. But I don't think anyone who's listening probably is.
Not.
We're sheep, right? Or big form
I think
sheep.
we're like goats. We're either goats or sheep. We're some kind of hoofed
Yeah,
creature.
I'm pretty sure we're sheep, which is great because I fucking love sheep. They're like giant dogs. Just saying. I've had lots of experiences with sheep. My ex's best friend. Shout out to Dylan.
Shut up, Dylan.
What up, Dylan? He doesn't listen to this. But if
He should.
he should. Anyway, he used to have sheep. One of their names was Beyonce.
Oh,
okay. So he lived kind of like in the middle of nowhere, Utah. And I stayed with him for like a weekend one time. And every morning, hella early, I would get up and put on some shoes and just go out and talk to the sheep for like hours. They were so cute. They're like giant dogs, and they're so fluffy, and they're like, they all have their own little personalities. I could talk about sheep for so long. Pigeons too.
Pro sheep podcast, all right. Pro pigeon. And we're not sorry.
We are not. I fucking love pigeons too, so do not even go there with me, baby.
Don't go there.
Anyways.
Wrap and change. There are two movies that I couldn't stop thinking of in relation to this movie.
Ooh.
One was Napoleon Dynamite. Because you remember how we talked about in our Napoleon Dynamite episode how Jake Gyllenhaal was the one they wanted to play Napoleon.
Yes.
And I said in that episode, it's probably just because they saw Donnie Darko when they were like awkward teenager. But I think it goes further. I think the makers of Napoleon Dynamite are clearly fans of this movie because like the scene where he's on his bike in the beginning is like exactly how Napoleon Dynamite rides his bike.
You're so right.
There's also the time travel parallel. And I was like, I feel like they probably put in the time travel thing into Napoleon Dynamite just as like an homage to Donnie Darko. I have not Googled this. I don't know if I'm the only one to ever have this thought.
That's very interesting.
But then the last one, the school talent show, where there's like the pretty popular kids do their like little synchronized dance.
Yeah.
And then the awkward misfit does a beautiful dance.
An interpretive dance.
Yes.
Yeah, you're so right.
And I was like, there's like a lot of weird parallels. And then I did Google Napoleon Dynamite Donnie Darko just to see.
Yeah.
And it was sold as a double feature DVD.
What?
In like the early 2000s.
That's so fucking
And
weird.
people's reviews were like, I don't know why these movies are together, but I liked it. Like,
Well, they're both like very like adolescent loner.
yeah.
Finds like a cutie that they like and like kind of a best friend. You know, Donnie Darko's best friend is Frank.
Yeah, and
kind
Jenna Malone and the chick who plays Deb don't look dissimilar.
You're right.
They look kind of alike.
You're right. And also very like 80s themed.
You're so right.
Wow.
But I was like, there's just a lot of, like, I was like, I can't believe I'm thinking so much about Napoleon Dynamite. The other movie that I could not stop thinking about was Don't Look Under the Bed. Because I felt
the way that
like
they shot it?
the way it's shot, the pranks at the school, the fact that everyone thinks it's the protagonist, imaginary friends.
Ooh.
Like, I was like, there's a lot here. And Don't Look Under the Bed came out before Donnie Darko.
Oh my god.
I'm not saying Donnie Darko ripped off Don't Look Under the Bed, but I'm not saying it.
Have you ever seen them in the same room? That is pretty wild.
I was like, this is weird.
And I also have to say two things. Number one, lots of imaginary friend shit, which is deeply connected to Stacy and I because we have a zine called Imaginary Friend.
Yeah.
Do we have only one issue? Sure. But we'll definitely come out with more in my heart. Second of all, there was a Blockbuster card.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I think it was our first Blockbuster card sighting, which was exciting. That rhymed. All right.
You're like,
Now
I'm a rapper.
That's very interesting. That's very fucking cool. Here we go. Oh, fucking Seth Rogen saying, "I like your boobs."
His first line.
To fucking Gretchen. I'm like,
he's
bitch.
disgusting.
It was stupid. What makes you think I'm not? Wrote that. I was like, he's a smoothie.
Smooth criminal.
I was laughing at the scene where he's in hypnotherapy and he's talking about like he thinks a lot about fucking in school, and then she's like, what else do you think about? He's like, married with children.
I do love he's a horny 15-year-old.
Totally.
Like,
I'm
thinking
sure
about his sex.
Every kid is just, especially 15, 16-year-olds. Oh yeah. That's all we were thinking about. Mashed potato bread.
And she's like, I don't like where this is going. Do you ever think about your family? And he goes, I don't think about fucking my family.
And he's like, that's gross. Which is also very Napoleon Dynamite. And then I wrote, there was a whole debate about Smurfs, and he's like, fucking asexuals, you fucking idiots. And I was like,
yeah, and there's a few scenes where you're like, oh, this kid's like smart. And I also Googled this because I was like, I think if this movie were made today, everyone would just assume he's like autistic.
Oh, I could see that.
And so I Googled that, and a lot of people with autism like really identify with this movie and are like, yeah, that's like kind of how it feels like you just kind of want to say what you want to say and people don't like it and that sucks. And
I know, well. And a lot of the time, like all the people who have autism that I know are so fucking smart on a different fucking level.
Yeah, and he's like with it, like he knows, he's just really smart.
Yeah, he just like knows a lot of lores, and he's very excited about certain topics, like especially about like time travel and all that. Like he was very hyper focused on it, which makes sense to that. So that's very interesting. I wouldn't have even thought that. I wrote in all caps, "This bitch frustrates the fuck out of me." For some reason, the lady who does like the spectrum of like fear and love.
Oh, she's the worst. I definitely think she's supposed to be a villain.
She's like triggering to me, and she might remind me of one of my like Catholic school teachers or something.
She represents authority, that's why.
I'm like, I was getting physically angry watching her, and I know like she is a bitch, like that's obvious, we all don't like her, but like it was making me like I needed to pause it at certain moments and be like, I need to get up and get a drink and walk around, because like I think I felt triggered, and I was like, why? But I do think she reminds me of like in my memory a faceless like Catholic teacher I had. That I'm just like,
yeah, and you're like, I hate you.
I fucking hate her. So she might be one of my least favorite characters of all time.
Well, and I wrote she's the classic QAnon lady. Not to get all political, if you don't know, real quick, QAnon is like this conspiracy theory that believes that all Democrats, no Republicans, are like systematically operating a child abuse network, and it's like it resulted in like someone actually dying because someone shot up a pizza place where they thought they were offering. But anyway, they're like obsessed with groomers and predators and blame queer people, and it's all really gross and ugly. Yep. But I was like, this is some classic QAnon shit, because this woman is probably so obsessed with the shit, but when faced with an actual pedophile groomer, she's like, he didn't do it.
Yeah, like, it's a conspiracy.
Exactly. And it's like, I feel like that happens so much in real life, where it's like these people protect actual predators and abusers because they're so obsessed with this like fantasy they've cooked up,
when there's literal proof that they're fucking criminals and pedophiles, etc.
Right. And they're just like, ugh. Anywho, so I was really annoyed about that. I was like, this bitch.
But you know what? We do need to say, this is a political podcast, period.
That's true.
It's two women. It's going to be fucking
we got
political,
opinions, okay?
So we're going to bring up politics like basically every episode. And that's just going to continue. All right. Anyway. Yeah. Shove the lifeline up your ass. So fucking good. Amazing.
And I love just how the dad's like, well, he's got a point.
Yeah, and you know what? She does represent authority, and that's like a big thing. Is I talk about it very openly. I've always been super anti-authority, which is why I got in trouble a lot as a kid. I'm basically Donnie Darko. Okay?
It's oil and water. Okay? I'm just gonna save the world. No big deal.
So true. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, then like a little bit after this, you find out that the old lady death, or lady, what is it? Grandma
death.
She wrote a book about time travel. And you're just like, wait, what? And it's like, oh, this is very connected.
And he's starting to see like things in the book are coming true.
And she like whispers in his ear at some point, and she says, every living creature on earth dies alone, which is very interesting.
Yeah, and very sad. And that's like fucking up Donnie, because he remembers how his like childhood dog died alone, and he's like, oh no,
which a lot of animals do.
Yeah,
why?
Exactly. Why? So he's like, why? And then it starts to like shake his belief in God, because he's like, well, God must not be real if you're alone, because if not, God would be there.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, he does go to a Catholic school, I believe. Yes. Or like a religious school.
I think so too.
They never explicitly say so, but like the teachers kind of talk about God a lot. And
Drew Barrymore gets fired for being like mildly controversial, not even.
Yeah, that part I was kind of confused. It was really late when I watched it, and I was like, wait, why is she getting like, what material is she teaching? I'm confused.
So she taught like a book that in the book, like the adolescents do like hijinks, and they like flood things and set fire. Right. So they're like, oh, look, you're encouraging these kids to do this shit. Right. And she's like, I'm not fucking doing that.
She's like, y'all are fucking little bitches.
But I have a fun piece of trivia. So when she is being fired, and Donnie Darko goes in there, and he's like, oh, they're firing you. And she's like, yeah. And on the blackboard behind her, it says cellar door.
Yes.
And he's like, what's with the cellar door? And she's like, oh, this famous linguist once said that cellar door is a beautiful combination of sounds in the English language.
Yeah, it's like the most beautiful.
Do you know who that linguist was?
Who?
J.R.R. Tolkien.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you guys don't know, which you should by now, if you're true BBWs.
You're a real BBW.
Stacy is obsessed with Tolkien. She's obsessed
my boy.
With
He's a genius.
Lord of the Rings. She has a Lord of the Rings tattoo. This
the
girl.
Holy Mountain of Arda.
She loves.
I love him. So when that was like in a IMDb trivia page, and I was like, like, and then it points out that a lot of Tolkien's Elvish, like it has that kind of melody, like Celeborn and Galadriel, and like it's all,
And you know what? As soon as she said it, I was like, oh my god, that's fucking true. It's really pretty. It sounds really nice. It feels good to say.
And I love that Tolkien was probably just looking at a cellar door and was like, cellar door.
Yeah, just like cellar door. He just like repeats it to himself all day. And then he came up with Lord of the Rings because of it. Anyway.
No, he really did like write a lot of background material for the Silmarillion and Lord of the Rings simply because he wanted to write a beautiful language. But he wanted like the story of like why the language would have these different dialects. So like this motherfucker wrote like multiple languages with different dialects just like in his spare time. Never even intended it to come out. He didn't publish it. It was published after he died and they found it all. And they were like, oh, whoa. This is nuts.
That is, I mean, anyone who creates a literal world and then all the lore behind it.
Multiple languages.
Like, we obviously, like, fuck J.K. Rowling, but everything that she fucking came up with in that world, wild. Beyond my comprehension. Like, why? Wow. Fuck her, though.
Yeah, but she sucks.
She fucking sucks, but that's pretty cool. Anyway, Yeah,
People
so
contain multitudes. She sucks, and she created something dope.
that I love so fucking much, and I hate her, and I cannot believe that she turned into this monster. But anyways, or she just always was. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, I wrote, do you feel alone right now? I guess someone must have asked that. Probably the therapist. I don't know why I wrote it down though. Oh yeah, and then I wrote, he finds the gun, and that confused me, the gun, because...
So I think he has to find the gun because he eventually uses it to shoot Frank in the eye after he runs over Gretchen.
Right.
But there's like some time weirdness with that because when he first sees Frank, and I Googled, I was like, who plays Frank? Because he's gorgeous.
Is he native? He looks like he's native, and he's beautiful.
But I was just like, who is this beautiful person? And he's like been just in a bunch of cult films, like nothing like super huge. But yeah, I was like, who is this gorgeous man?
Beautiful.
But he's missing an eye, and then you later realize why. Because he got shot.
He also stabbed him in the same eye.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Why?
Yeah,
like why?
I think he was trying to break the barrier. So he was just like ding 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 ding.
Yeah, and then at the movie theater, his eyes like out.
Yeah.
He's like, why does your? And he's like, oh.
And the iconic, why are you wearing that stupid rabbit suit? And he goes, why are you wearing that stupid man suit?
Like,
which they put in an episode of Workaholics, and I was done.
Yes, I remember that. Dude, okay, that's a different topic because I could talk about Workaholics. I love that show so much.
Clearly a Donnie Darko fan in there somewhere.
Well, they're all film bros.
Yes,
so there you go.
True.
Okay, well that makes a lot more sense. And then this is where the therapist is talking to the parents and kind of says like he's showing signs of having paranoid schizophrenia. So, and then fun fact, in the scene where the what's his name, the dude who's giving, the eventual found out pedophile, when he's giving like the talk to all the students, there's a young Ashley Tisdale.
Really?
She's one of the girls that like she's like the young girl that like volunteers information about herself. Don't really remember, but she had like brown curly hair, and I was like, Ashley Tisdale.
Oh, I didn't realize that at all.
I could believe that I couldn't see. You were always there beside me. I was like, I did not remember like her. I don't know. I feel like I only knew that she was.
It's like, did every single person in this movie go on to have careers?
I
like,
guess so.
Geez.
Fucking nuts. Like, I feel like I've watched like interviews of her talking about her first roles, and I don't remember ever seeing. So that's very weird.
Talking about it.
Very fucking weird. Then he calls the dude Antichrist, which is great because then you find out very soon after that he kind of fucking is. And then Seth Rogen telling Gretchen, like, didn't your dad like fucking stab your mom?
So horrible.
We all knew kids like that in high school.
And the weird young hot teacher was like, get out.
Yeah, he was
I was
weird.
like, why are you so hot and young?
I know, he was very hot and weird, and of course he's with Drew Barrymore. And then he and Homegirl have their first kiss, which is very sweet. The fact that they went to go see, they went on a date to see Evil Dead. It was $2 for them to go to the fucking movie.
And it was a double feature because it was also The Last Temptation of Christ, foreshadowing. Donnie Darko is Christ.
I didn't notice that.
He gives up his life for everybody.
$2, bruh.
You're like, back to the $2.
No, because candy is like $5 at the movies now. Those little boxes of candy, you can buy them at Walgreens for $1, or they're at Dollar Tree for $1.25. But fucking like that, I'm still. If you buy a movie ticket,
but this is also in like '88. You have to think.
True, but you could buy a movie ticket, a fucking drink, and a thing of candy and popcorn, literally for like $60. Like it's so crazy.
It's like. Brett and I went to a pretty cheap movie theater by our house. Like it's cheaper than normal. Yeah. And the people in front of us like got some tickets and some popcorn, and they're like, "Okay, your total's $90." And I was just like, ugh. And I was like, "This is the cheap ass theater. Like if this were at like a super nice theater, it'd be double that." Because like we got to see Avatar 3D for $10.
Hell yeah, and that's
like half price.
Yeah, that's absolutely half price. It's like. It's so trash. That's a whole other conversation. Anyways. So Donnie fully leaves his girlfriend alone in the theater. She falls asleep and he's like, be right back. And he literally
I was like,
leaves for probably at least an hour to do his bidding.
I love his little like hoodie look.
Yeah. The skeleton hoodie. Fucking lights this dude's house on fire. Comes back. Great alibi, I have to say.
In a movie.
I was at the movie with my girlfriend. And also, at the same time, there's a dance recital happening for his little sister. Fun fact about her, not only is she the voice for Lilo from Lilo and Stitch.
What?
She's also Samara from the Ring series.
I'm sorry. They got the chick from the Ring to do Lilo and Stitch?
Yeah. I think Lilo and Stitch came first.
Okay, I was like, oh God.
Yeah, because I think it was probably around this time that she did Lilo and Stitch, and then...
Wow, yeah, I guess Ring was like 2005, 6.
Yeah, I was like, she looks so familiar, and then I was like, uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Yep, Samara. And then I wrote in all caps, of course this bitch thinks it's a fucking conspiracy fucking bitch, because I hate her. Basically,
Yes.
she goes to the Darko's household, and she's like giving the sob story to the mom about
All the girls have to have somebody to go with them to do their dance recital. She does have a hilarious line where she goes, sometimes I think you're not dedicated to the sparkle whatevers. I forget
like,
what they're called. And
you're
she's like,
dedicated to a child predator.
yeah, and she's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
I hate you, but I'll do it for the kids.
I love the mom.
Yeah.
She's so fucking cool. She's such a good mom. So anyway, yeah, she agrees to like go to this dance competition or whatever for her kids that's like in a different city, and you can tell she's just very worried about Donnie.
Yeah.
She's just like, I feel like something's gonna happen. Ugh, it's so sad. And so anyway,
And it's like maybe Donnie wouldn't have sacrificed himself if he didn't have so much love from his parents.
absolutely.
But he wanted to save them. Because you then later find out in the movie that the engine that came off the plane in the Tangent universe would cause... That was the plane his mom and sister were on.
Yeah, when they
So
were
they
coming
would-
back home, which is so sad.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, and what else did I write on here?
I think I went through all my notes, which is crazy.
I wrote, yeah, how does it feel having a wacko for a son? And she says, it feels wonderful. Which is just the best line for a mom to fucking say.
And I also think this is such a good movie for teenage angst because, like, I mean, so many, like, concepts are premised on this, but just, like, feeling like nobody understands you, but at the end of the day, you are very important. In fact, you can save the world, literally.
Exactly.
I think that
You could
speaks
quite
to
literally.
a lot of adolescents. We're like, no one gets me, but I'm important, you know?
Yeah. And like we were talking about, I think that the girl who's so cute and has a crush on, I don't know her name.
Oh, well, that was one of my trivia questions, I think.
Oh, really?
Well, no.
Is it a repeated name?
Just a few times. Her name's Charita. Charita Chen.
Oh, okay. Charita. What was the point I was just gonna bring up? Oh yeah, like how Charita is like always watching from afar, and she's like paying attention to him, and she cares, but he like wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really sweet, like the influence that you could have on people. Like she kind of always knew that he was a hero, kind of.
I think so. I think she kind of saw how caring he was and was like, wow.
Yeah.
And at one point he goes up to her and grabs her cheeks and he's like, everything's gonna be okay. And she like freaks out and runs, but it's like, you know, she's gonna remember that.
And she dropped her notebook and it just said Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
Which is
I know.
love her. Love you, Charita.
Love him. I love everybody in this movie except for Karen Nun bitch.
Karen cunt asshole and her baby daddy.
Ugh.
Disgusting ass. Oh, and then pretty soon after that, he confesses to his therapist that he's just like, the world is...
He's like, I've been doing crimes and the world's gonna end.
Yeah, he's like, Frank said time's up. And then he starts like crying, and it's just like, that's the scene, I think, where he's just like, he's right behind you or whatever. That part is scary.
Mm-hmm.
And then after they find out that his big sister, I think, right, gets into Harvard, he's like, let's throw a party. So They throw a party.
And it's
then he loses
Halloween,
her.
so it's all dressed up.
And then he loses his virginity, baby.
Yeah, he gets it in.
Yep, which is cute. Although it's sad because his girl is like, I don't know where my mom is. And then, like, they fuck, which is like, yikes.
Yeah, some people, that's how they deal with grief.
Horrible, vulnerable moment that turned into somewhat cute, I guess. And he's like, come with me. And then he, like, in his mind, he's like, wait, there's a cellar door at Grandma Death's house. And
yeah, and he realizes, like, oh, time's almost up. But I gotta, like, figure out what's going on.
Oh, yeah, because something we didn't mention is that throughout the whole movie, it's counting down.
We did mention that.
Oh.
We that good.
Oh, damn, I didn't even realize. Yeah, so throughout the whole movie, it's, like, counting down. And so he's just like, we really don't have time left. So he's like, let's try to figure out this time continuum shit or whatever. And so I got kind of lost in the sauce in this. They go to, like, to Grandma Death's house through her cellar door. And then Seth Rogen and the other dude are
coincidentally, the bullies are there to, like, rob Grandma Death.
She has lots of, like, gems or something like that.
Yeah, because they think she has valuables. And then as they're, like, tussling, the Phantom Planet bullies, like, about to, like, ice both Donnie Darko and his girlfriend for, like, seemingly no reason.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Frank, who you find out is not just a guy in a bunny rabbit costume, he is also Maggie Gyllenhaal's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And so he's been, like, going in and out, just always like, where's Frank? Where's Frank? Where's Frank? Frank is doing a beer run. And he's doing a beer run by Grandma Death's house. And unfortunately, he swerves to avoid Grandma Death in the middle of the street. But in doing so, he runs over Gretchen and kills her.
He kills her immediately, which is
so Donnie
fucking
Darko,
sad.
in revenge, pulls out the gun he found in the closet and shoots him in the eye.
So does he kill, like, actual Frank?
In the Tangent universe, he kills actual Frank.
But in the non-tangent, he's just like, get out of here, right?
I don't think anything happens with Frank in the real universe because he ultimately dies.
But what? Okay, who?
Early on in the target, like in the main universe.
But there's a moment where he, like, yells to the dude, who I think is Maggie's boyfriend, and he's just like, just get out of here, go.
You mean the guy dressed as the clown?
Yeah,
that's his friend. So that's not Frank.
That's his friend.
That's Frank's friend.
Oh, that's Frank's friend. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
He's just Frank's homie.
Got it. Okay, that part confused me too because I was like, oh,
yeah.
does he think this is Frank and this is actually, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay.
But then when you're getting the scene, so all this shit happens. Donnie's obviously very sad that his girlfriend's dead. He killed a guy. Everything's going horribly wrong. He, like, I think gets the sense that his family's going to die. And he's like, I gotta figure out how to die in the regular universe so that this all does not happen.
Yeah.
And then, so he somehow managed to do that. And it's not real clear. It's not real clear if everything in the Tangent universe was like a hallucination and he never actually was there. Like, it's not super clear. But anyways, you get back to the regular universe and the plane engine hits him and kills him. But as that's going on, Mad World comes on, a beautiful haunting song, and it shows everybody in the main universe that he had interacted with in the Tangent universe. So it's like Jarita, and you see Frank, and he's been drawing all these, like, weird bunny rabbit pictures, and, like, you just see everybody, and they all get to live.
Yeah. And then as you know, the jet engine falls on Jake Gyllenhaal, aka Donnie, who originally, when this was happening at the beginning, he was out on a, like, sleepwalk adventure.
To the highway,
yeah,
where you see him at the beginning.
But this time he knew what he was supposed to do, so he was in bed knowing that if he dies, nobody else will die and everything else will be okay.
And the universe won't explode or whatever.
So he sacrifices himself knowing that this is how it was supposed to end. And he's, like, smiling as it's happening because he's like, I get to save everybody.
Yeah. Ugh, like
and
I
he
said,
does.
I'm a sucker for a sacrifice narrative.
And at the very end, there is a weird moment where, like, there's a little kid who's a neighbor. And he's just, like, staring, watching. You know, the police are showing up and they're hauling the body out. And his... Gretchen, who doesn't know Donnie because she hasn't gone to the school yet or anything like that.
This is the very beginning.
She, like, rides her bike and she's like, what's this? And the little kid's like, oh, one of my neighbors got killed. There was an accident. And she's like, what's his name? And he's like, Donnie Darko. And she's like, oh. And then the mom is just like smoking a
Well, the
cigarette.
kid goes, "Did you know him?" And she goes, "No."
Oh, right.
So you're like,
Oh.
okay, so that none of that's happened in this universe.
Yeah. And then you see the mom, and she's just like smoking a cigarette. You know, she just looks like tired and just like
Super
done.
briefed out. Yeah.
And then the little kid waves at her. And
I think the little kid waves last.
yeah, he does. So yeah, the Gretchen waves at her, and then the mom like is almost like it's a weird moment because the mom almost knows, like, I can't even speak. The mom almost looks like knowing.
Mm-hmm.
She's like,
Yeah, I think you get the hint that like perhaps people are aware of the other universes, or there's like ripples, or like some feelings remain, or something.
Yeah, because I feel like the mom knows what's up. Like, it's very odd. Because that scene seems like really long for some reason.
Yeah, and I think it's supposed to be like, oh, is there a piece of this other universe that is like still living in them? Or like,
right. Because it just seemed too like all-knowing. I don't know. And then the movie ends.
And you're like, what?
And I was just sitting there for like 5 minutes being
Mind fucked.
Wait. Yeah, mindfuck.
Mindfuck
Hashtag
February.
mindfucked. But man, it was really good. The more I think about it, the more I do feel like it is full circle. It is one of those movies where not everything is fully explained. So that can be like unsettling for people, of course. But I don't know. Now, the more that I think about it, and as we're talking it out, because I haven't been able to talk it out with anybody, I feel like, I don't know. I like it more now that we've talked about it.
And that's the magic of these mindfuck like cult movies, I think, is like they are supposed to spark conversations.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to just watch them and be like, got it,
Yeah.
entertainment pellet ingested.
Right.
Thank you. Everything goes down real easy.
Yeah.
It's like, no, some things do make you think and benefit from conversation, and they're supposed to make you be like, wait, what? Another cool thing that this movie did, which I feel like is very proto Meow Wolf, is it was the early days of the internet. They had like a rudimentary website. You could go and like click around on the website and find like more pages of Roberta's book, or like get hints, or like deleted scenes. And so it made it feel like, oh, like you're unraveling this mystery.
Yeah.
There's like pieces of it in different places.
That is fucking cool. And I feel like that was very early 2000s. Like to have a website linked to a movie or a TV show or something like that. So that's really cool.
There were still mysteries.
Unfolding.
There's no mysteries in movies now, really.
You're so right. Everything
The
is
internet's
just
already
painted out
picked it
for
apart
you.
a million times.
That's true. But, you know, I do really like it.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, I thought it was, unsettling for sure. Like, very, like, there were moments where I was like,
Yeah, some of it, like I said, it's a little scarier than I remember. I was like, oh.
yeah, but I do think, like, overall, even though it is a mindfuck, I do think, like you were saying, the theme is really nice, you know, sacrificing yourself for the people who you love.
And yeah, you love them, they love you.
Yeah. And like, I think I wasn't expecting that from the movie. I was expecting it to be like adolescent little asshole, you know, which he's not.
Yeah. And I think it's like, yeah, if you have to die by getting hit by a plane engine, like how wonderful to have this experience in the other universe where you did get to like fall in love and have sex and
like tell people off and
yeah,
be
tell
honest.
people off and
Uncover
support people and
uncover hideous fucking heinous ass crimes and shit. Yeah, it was really cool. I liked it.
Yay. First Mindfuck February. Success.
Hell yes. All right, are we ready for trivia?
Trivia is kind of tough. Some of them we have answered.
I don't know
It was
if I'm
really
gonna
hard
do
to
it.
think of questions, like super hard.
I'm not super confident in myself, but I will try.
First one's hard. Which author is discussed by Drew Barrymore?
I have no idea.
Graham Greene.
Okay.
Next. What does Grandma Death / Roberto Sparrow do every day?
She walks to her mailbox and checks it. So sad.
I love when one of the kids goes, somebody needs to write that bitch.
I know. I was like, ah. And
like,
then
true.
Johnny does.
Yes.
At the end.
Who runs over Gretchen?
Frank.
Last question. Who has Donnie's name written on her notebook?
My favorite.
Charita Chen.
Yeah, Charita.
I know you know who I'm talking about.
She's so cute. The interpretive dance queen of our lives.
Yes. And I have a which Donnie Darko character are you?
Hell yes.
It's estimated to take 4 minutes. It's from zoo.com.
That's fun. Okay.
Okay. Which one of Jake Gyllenhaal's films would you watch over and over again? Southpaw, Brokeback Mountain, Donnie Darko, Demolition.
Well, the only one I've seen is Donnie Darko.
You haven't seen Brokeback Mountain?
No, I haven't.
It's so depressing. It's good, though.
I want to see it so bad. We'll save that for like... I'm thinking we should have a queer month.
Yes, June.
Pride
Month.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll save that for queer month. You know what? I will go with Donnie Darko.
Okay. How did you feel about the ending of Donnie Darko? I felt confused. I felt like it was an awesome ending. It kind of made me sad. I thought it was weird.
I'll say originally I was confused.
Like Jake Gyllenhaal and Seth Rogen.
But I do really like it.
What do you find creepiest about Frank the Rabbit? Frank's face is creepy. Frank's voice freaks me out. The whole costume is unnerving. Frank's eyes were crazy.
Just the voice.
I think I know this one.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen into the future? Do I look like a crystal ball? It's impossible to see the future. I've had a couple of premonitions. I haven't, but I know someone who has.
I've had more than a couple premonitions, but yes, I'll say that.
Which Donnie Darko actress do you know the most about? Drew Barrymore, Catherine Ross, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Ashley Tisdale.
Aha. Drew Barrymore, for sure. I love her. Read her book.
Yeah. If you could time travel, which time period would you visit? I would love to visit the Mayan civilization. I would like to see the Roaring Twenties. I would like to travel to the Wild West, or I would travel to Victorian England.
Yikes.
No, thank you.
None of these sound that great. I guess I would go with the Roaring 20s.
Okay.
But all of these kind of sound yikes.
What is your favorite time travel film? 12 Monkeys, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Groundhog Day, Terminator.
I'm going to go with Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Nice.
Another 80s classique.
Which Nostradamus prediction do you find most accurate? The death of Henry II, London's Great Fire, the French Revolution, Louis Pasteur's discoveries.
Wait, what? Wait, who's predictions? Nosferatu?
Very close. Nostradamus.
Oh, wait, I don't get this. I don't understand.
So Nostradamus, this is a really strange question to me. So Nostradamus had all these predictions that people say were true.
Is he a real person?
He is a real person.
Okay.
But his predictions were pretty vague. So people he was talking about the Great Fire, and it's yeah, we're not. We don't really know.
So I have to talk about my favorite prediction.
Yeah. Well, it asks you which one do you find the most accurate, but all of these things did happen. So
I have no idea.
They all did happen. So I don't know what you mean by most accurate. So yeah, what's your favorite, I guess? The death of Henry II, London's Great Fire, the French Revolution, Louis Pasteur's discoveries.
I guess the discovery.
It did lead to cheese, so thank you.
Hello.
Who would you tell if you were having random hallucinations? I would tell my doctor. I would tell my mom. I would tell my best friend. I would tell my partner.
Doctor, aka my therapist.
Yeah.
For
Smart.
sure.
How did you feel with, I think they mean when, Donnie shot Frank? Shocked, vindicated, sad, horrified.
Shocked, vindicated, horrified, sad.
Sad. Mm-hmm.
I was sad.
Yeah.
But I understood. He was just so angry. He was like, what the fuck? How could you do this? Which I get,
What subject did your favorite teacher teach?
Music.
Oh. Sadly, the choices are science, English, history, or math.
Science, English, history, or math. Never math. I guess my favorite teacher out of all of those was science, physics.
Okay, nice.
Yep, she was cool.
Which Drew Barrymore film do you like most? E.T., The Wedding Singer, Never Been Kissed, Whip It.
Ooh, all those are great, but probably Wedding Singer.
All right. Which song from Donnie Darko soundtrack do you know the best? Mad World, Head Over Heels, The Killing Moon, Love Will Tear Us Apart.
Head over heels, baby.
Nice. Which fictional character would you like to see Maggie Gyllenhaal play? Alice from Alice in Wonderland, Charlotte from Charlotte's Web, Nancy Drew from the Nancy Drew series, or Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind?
Maggie Gyllenhaal?
Mm-hmm.
Nancy Drew.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
This quiz is very long.
It's very
Which
odd.
high school based movie do you like most? Donnie Darko, Breakfast Club, Heathers, or Bring It On?
God, that's hard. Because
That
I
is really
love
hard.
Breakfast
I know.
Club.
There's so many good ones.
And I love Bring It On. You know what? I'm going to go with... fuck. I've probably watched these two the most. Like, I watch them the same amount.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Bring It On because I am in love with the dude. Like, the brother guy.
Oh, what's his name? Paul.
I don't know.
He's Ant-Man. Paul Rudd, right?
No, but he
Oh.
looks like him. No.
Oh, I'm thinking of Clueless.
Yeah, but
Anywho.
still so hot. They have similar features, though.
Yeah.
They have, like, the dark hair and the hot eyes.
What did you like most about Eddie Darko? I think that's the dad. Eddie really cared about his family. Eddie was a little strange. Eddie always says what he thinks. Eddie is very opinionated.
I guess I'll go with the first one.
He cared.
He
Yes.
does.
What? Okay, how many fucking questions? There's so many. It said it was only going to take 4 minutes.
Why don't you finish the last half?
Okay, I like that.
Okay.
Here, let me scroll back up.
Something happens and I'm head over here.
Okay.
Okay. What did you like the least about high school? I didn't like the morning classes. I thought it was boring. I hated having a curfew, or I didn't like being told what to do.
I didn't like the morning classes. Why do we make high schoolers wake up so early? It's
Children.
It's mean.
It's so mean.
It's like when teenagers need the most sleep. We're like, guess when school starts? 7 a.m.
I know, it's
I'm
disgusting.
like, have you lost your fucking mind?
Yeah. And it shouldn't be that long either. It shouldn't be like a full work day.
If I had to go to work every day at 7 a.m., I'd be fucking pissed.
Exactly.
And I'm not
I've
a
done it
hormonal
before.
Teenager.
It fucking sucks. Which would you use to describe Donnie Darko as a whole? It's a dark film. It's a charming film. It's a curious film, or it's a unique film.
Unique film.
Yes, agreed. Which stereotypical high school group were you in? I was with the nerds. I was with the jocks. I was with the goths. I was with the skaters.
Man, yeah, skaters are the nerds. Skaters.
I don't know about that. I don't think they were the nerds. I think they were like super hot and everybody wanted to fuck them.
Who?
Like all the skater dudes. I'm thinking of certain ones in particular.
Oh, I was saying I think it's either the nerds or the skaters.
Oh, I thought you were like, they were the nerds. I was
Oh,
like,
no,
really?
no. I was saying, I think, because I had a lot of, like, smarty pants kids.
True.
But
But
a lot of the skaters, too.
I would say you definitely hung out with the skaters, Mo.
They were more
Like
my
the
peeps.
smart, hot skaters. If you wanted to know the future, who would you visit besides me? A scientist, a palm reader, a tarot card reader, or a psychic?
Tarot cards. I just love tarot cards. They're so beautiful.
You do. They are beautiful. Which award nomination do you think Donnie Darko deserved the most? Clotridis Award Best Screenplay, Clotridis Award Best Film, Independent Spirit Award for Best First Feature, or Silver Scream Award?
I don't know what any of those are. The first one?
Yeah. Best Screenplay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also shouts out to Drew Barrymore for discovering it because holy
Yes.
shit. How many times have you watched Donnie Darko? At least 10 times, once, between 2 and 4 times, or between 5 and 9 times?
Between 5 and 9.
5 and 9. Okay. Which Watership Down rabbit do you like most?
Oh, yeah. So there's a little reference where somebody's teaching Watership Down. And it's like, oh, is that why you sing the rabbit?
Oh. Hazel, Fiver, Bigwig, or Haystack?
I never read it because I heard it was super sad and all the rabbits die. I do like the name Haystack.
Me too. It's cute.
It was like
Who
a
would you
folksy
like-
rabbit.
I know. I would have chosen Hazel because it looks very much like Hazen. And that's my little brother, and I love him very much. Who would you like to see play Donnie Darko in a remake? Johnny Depp, Seth Rogen,
Johnny Depp.
Corey
He's like
Feldman.
7 years old.
I know, Corey Feldman, or Ashton Kutcher. These are all
Oh,
literally
these are
at least
awful.
40-year-olds.
Yeah.
At least.
God, I guess
I
Ashton
guess
Kutcher.
young versions of all these guys.
Yeah.
Ashton Kutcher, okay.
I guess. I hate them all.
Yeah.
What about Timmy Shams?
Yeah. What the fuck? Okay. Are you parents like Eddie and Rose Darko? Yes, my parents are too much like the Darkos. No, my parents are really boring. A little bit. Or no, my parents can't stand each other.
No, that's a little bit, I'd say. They're not exactly like them.
They're very supportive.
They're supportive, but they would be like, you can't tell the guy that he's the Antichrist. They wouldn't go that far.
My parents would well, my dad would be like high-fiving me secretly, and my mom would be like, are you out of your fucking mind? Murder. Which classic film do you think Jake Gyllenhaal should modernize? Gone with the Wind, Rebel Without a Cause, Cool Hand Luke, or Metropolis?
Oh, Rebel Without a Cause.
Agreed.
Oh, I would love to see him in that.
Me too. So cool. What do you miss most about being a teenager? I miss my friends.
Oh.
I miss lazy summers. I miss not having a job. Or I miss living at home.
Lazy summers.
We had the best summers growing up.
It's just like, what a great gift to be like, well, you're not really have to do shit for 3 months.
It's so fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
It's so cool. If you built a time machine, what would you call it? The Traveltron 5000. The Pasts Are Us machine, Trippy Tube, or Vortex Vehicle.
I mean, Trippy Tube.
It's pretty. That sounds like a cool rapper name.
Trippy Tube.
Do you think Donnie Darko was really mentally ill? Jesus, come on, you guys. No, I think he had flashes before he died. I think his mental illness was fairly obvious. No, I think it was all a dream. Or the important question is, did Donnie think he was mentally ill?
Yeah, I like that one. It sounds indignant. I like when you answer a question with another question. It's
That is pretty badass.
It's a power move for sure.
Actually, question guy?
I got a question for
No,
you.
but what's funny is the question guy is asking himself.
Oh, it's very meta.
Oh, I love it. What would you do if you woke up to a giant talking rabbit at the foot of your bed?
Oh.
I would need to change the sheets. Amazing. I would think I was dreaming and go back to sleep. I would call 911 or I would listen to the rabbit.
I would need to change the sheets. I'm like, oh my god, I'd
That's
be
amazing.
terrified.
You got Donnie Darko.
Oh,
That's what we
we
got.
got Donnie Darko, baby.
Your ability to sense things before they happen and to try to resolve them rivals that of only Donnie Darko. You are fundamentally a good person, but you are more than a little inquisitive. You are the type of person who needs to figure everything out. Anything less means sleepless nights full of wonder and visions.
Oh.
Wow, I
So
like
we're
that.
like really cool and
We're
self-sacrificing.
like hot and like everybody wants to fuck us, and we're also anti-authority. So
I do like that Donnie Darko was like simultaneously an outcast, but also everyone wanted to fuck him.
and he just like stuck up for what was right. He didn't really speak unless he really felt like passionate about it, and I love people like that.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
He is fucking cool. I hated when he called his mom a bitch, but also he's a fucking angsty teenager, bro. Chill. But overall, I thought it was cool, and I get why people are like obsessed with it. Do I understand the full like actual obsession with it culturally? Maybe not, but I do think it is very unique.
Yeah, and I think we're more used to these kinds of movies now, but I think at the time people were like, I didn't realize you could do that. Like
Yeah.
I didn't think that this was a movie that could be made.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we were talking about, star-studded cast. Everyone went on to do really cool shit for the most part. So kudos. And yeah.
What are we watching next? Fight Club or Eternal Sunshine? Let's do Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do Eternal Sunshine next.
Yeah.
That was my pick.
Mm-hmm.
It is horrifyingly sad. I've only seen it.
I've only seen it twice, and I didn't
Me
think
too.
it was sad. I thought it had a good ending. But
Well,
I'm interested to watch it again and see.
It's sad during it.
Okay.
It's like heartbreaking during it, but it is really good. I mean, it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. It's one of my favorite movies of all
visually,
time.
it's fucking gorgina.
And then just the acting, I mean, whew. But I am very excited to watch it again. And yeah, we can't wait to speak to you guys again next week. So
Have
thank
fun
you.
getting your minds fucked.
Yeah, honestly, we love fucking your minds. It's our favorite pastime. But we love you, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you to our producer Brent for his editing skills and to Grady for our delightful theme song.
If you have questions for us or would like to advertise with us, please email us at blockbusterwives@gmail.com.
And as always, please rate, subscribe, and tell all your friends about us.
We love you.